History of the Indian subcontinent and Muslim culture. The main purpose of writing the history of the Indo-Pak subcontinent through textbooks and stories told by the British government was to make the people living here turn away from their past, dissatisfied with the present and disappointed with the future. The East India Company established its rule in Bengal in 1757 when it defeated Nawab Siraj ad-Daulah. Before him, Mughal India was not just a piece of land, but the style of governing by Muslim rulers. The benevolence of the Sufis and the cultural invasion of the Muslim elite had turned it into a unit. The name of a bird called United India did not appear in history before the arrival of Muslims. The whole region was called a region called India, which was ruled independently by more than 500 kings in their respective territories. In the 4,000 years before the arrival of the Muslims, this region of India came together as a united empire for only 360 years. The Maurya period, which lasted 236 years from 321 to 185 BC, and the Gupta period, which lasted 124 years from 543 to 319 BC. For the remaining 4,000 years, the land was always divided. Each region had its own god, goddess and a sacred family of deities worshipped in their respective areas. That is why if a list of Hindu gods and goddesses is compiled today, they become about 33 million. United India and human history began on June 25, 1206, when Shahabuddin Muhammad Ghaury defeated the combined forces of the Hindu Maharajas in the Second Battle of Taran and appointed Qutbuddin Aibak in charge of the area. He made Delhi his capital. Thus began a brilliant and golden chapter of India. Subsequent India looks very different from its last 4,000 years of history. The culture of the Muslims has given it its color in such a way that whatever is seen in the culture of India today, it has been given by the majority Muslim rulers, Sufis, elites and common man. Food list. List of foods: pick biryani, pilau, nihari, kufta, kebab, yolk, pie, shami kebab. What is the food that is not imprinted with the taste and delicacy of Muslims? Dress list. The Muslims in kurta pajamas and shalwars, sherwani, achkan, garara, lehenga, tight pajamas were all brought with them, and then the people here adopted them. Otherwise on the subcontinent an unsli sari, dhoti and saluka was the common dress. Architecture. The arches, minarets, domes, corridors, spacious courtyards, and the art of decorating all of them gave an everlasting beauty to the art of construction. From Benares and Calcutta to Kabul, first of all the historic buildings were built during the Muslim era. But the other fact is that the addition of such a beautiful chapter to the art of architecture by these buildings had nothing to do with the architecture of this earth from afar. There is a long list of tiles, mosaic paintings, precious stones and marble, pietra dura, tiling, enameling, embroidering, decorative arts, which are related to beautifying buildings and which are used only by Muslims all over the world. Introduced by Speech genres. Muslims also brought all the genres of speech which are the hallmark of Indian literature at this time. Ghazals, quatrains, masnavi, Marathi, fiction, novels, all beautiful ways of expression are due to Muslims. This is the reason why even Pandit Diya Shankar Nasim, if he writes the Masnavi Zahiri Ishq, first starts the praise of Allah, then the Naat of the Holy Prophet and then the story after the Mankabat of Hazrat Ali. Music. Although music was not a Muslim distinction, it was still popular in the courts of Muslim rulers. That is why Muslims have introduced many musical instruments such as rabab, barbat, sitar and tabla. If the words and music of Amir Khosrau are removed, then the wedding ceremonies will be dull. The art of Qawwali, which is universally accepted today, is known for its Chishti Sufis. The British had inherited the same united India of the Muslims. Here they competed with a great civilization, a great economic power and a Muslim rule with a glorious past. The Muslims who fought here for centuries turned the soldiers of the kings and maharajas into an organized army, established a system of justice and justice, determined property rights from the measurement of lands, laid a network of roads, post offices and inns. And most importantly, when the British set foot on this land, the world of knowledge was greater than the rest of the world. The gist of all these reports is that even in the last Mughal period, the literacy rate in India was over 95%. Obviously the pioneers of all this cultural, economic and social development were Muslims.